At the top, what you'll see here, again, this is called area of sides. By the way, we're going to have this lesson today. We're going to have law of cosines tomorrow. And on Wednesday, everybody, we're going to take a quiz over those two sections. Okay? But I'm going to give you a lot of stuff to be prepared for that. Law of sines. Now, all this stuff at the top is just a proof. Do not let what I'm going to write here at the top confuse you, because it's not what you're learning per se as much as you're actually just watching. Anybody remember how to find the area of a triangle? What's the formula for area of a triangle?
1/2 base times height.
Boom, there it is. 1/2 base times height. Okay? So, area of a triangle, 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay? To find h, we could break this triangle here into two right triangles. So what I did is I kind of took this here and rewrote it over here. So for the purposes of what we need, we're just going to use that left side and use trigonometry. What I know is, well, let's see how many of you remember. Sine of A equals. Can somebody tell me what sine of A is given the triangle given?
H over C?
Boom. H over C. Right? Opposite over hypotenuse. H over C. Okay? So, what that means is, what I can do to this problem, I'm trying to solve it for the height, for h here. So I'm just going to times both sides by c. If I times both sides by c, I'm going to get h equals c times the sine of A. Now the reason I'm doing that is, because with all right triangles, we can use 1/2 base times height. Because I know the height is the perpendicular, if you think back to geometry, which I don't like geometry. I probably should put that on tape. But I don't like geometry, that's okay. I'm not asking you to do geometry. What I'm trying to say is, if I think geometrically, I can replace some things here, whereas we said the area is 1/2 times base times height. Well, I'm going to replace h with all of this here, and rewrite it as 1/2 times b times c sine A. And what that gives us is the area of a triangle, of any triangle. Even if it's not a right triangle, we can use this formula. Now, we didn't try and introduce this to you in Algebra 1 because we didn't know SOHCAHTOA at that point. You learn SOHCAHTOA in geometry, it lends over to this, so we can use it here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just find, and you're going to find this is super easy. In fact, you can use a calculator. If there's not a calculator on your desk, go find one. There's some calculators in the box in the back. There's a couple up here. I know there's 2 or 3 laying around here somewhere. Get one. Maybe just have one person from your table to go do that in a minute. You're going to definitely need it. And when you get back to your table, draw the triangle so that you have it exactly how I have it here. Okay, draw that triangle in. I've got triangle ABC, and I'm just going to label it according to the picture. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to draw my triangle and try and see if you can label the triangle according to the information given to you. So it's telling you what this angle is, what this angle is. Remember, angles go inside the triangle, sides go outside the triangle. Angles go inside, sides go outside. See if you can label that. Hopefully you're doing it. I'm just hoping if you get a pen that's okay. Alright, so hopefully you can kind of remember how to do this. Angle A is 31 degrees and under angle A. AC, which is the length here, is 5. AB, the length here, is 10. So you can tell this drawing's not really to scale, but it doesn't need to be. Okay? And then it says find the area of the triangle. Well, look at what we got. We got, hopefully you remember this. What is the name of this side? Not 5. Like what letter can I put here? Do you remember? Where you can label triangles? Like across from big A with little a? You guys remember that? Across from big B is little b, across from big C is little c. Okay? So, I'm just going to plug in the values. Look, I just need B and C. Really what I need here is 1/2 times the two sides given times the sine of the angle in between them. So really, it doesn't matter what sides are A, B, and C. I'm going to take 1/2 of two sides given times sine of the angle between. So times, I'm going to put it in parentheses, 5 times 10 times sine of 31. And you can literally plug it in that easy into your calculator. Matter of fact, let's make this easy. What's 5 times 10? 50. What's half of that? 25. So you could just plug in 25 sine 31 and you're done. That's it. That's the answer. Or you can go 0.5 times 5 times 10 times sine of 31. And what you're going to get is 12.9 what? Can anybody tell me the label that should go here? Close. It's area.
Inches squared.
Boom. Inches squared. Right? Area is a square dimension. Okay? If I said the length of a side, you'd say just inches. Okay? So it's that easy. Let's set up number 2. Let's draw number 2 together. And I'm not even going to put A, B, C because it doesn't say A, B, and C in there. But we don't need A, B, and C. What we need is two sides and the angle between it to be able to do this. So it has side lengths of 12 and 15. Does it matter which sides I put 12 and 15? Nope. I'll put 12 here and 15 here, just to be different from my first example. And the measure, I don't know this, sorry about this fine, I think that was supposed to go on the other problem. The measure of the angle between them is 24 degrees. So where does 24 go? Yes, I'm not trying to be stupid, I'm trying to say it is that simple. And then it doesn't matter what A, B, and C are because it's half times the length of the two sides times sine of the angle between them. So area equals, you know what, finish that problem and try number 3 on your own. Finish that problem, try number 3 on your own. If you got problems, stop me as I'm walking around. Again, once you get done with number 2, try number 3 as well. So draw the triangle out, label it, plug it all in. What you're going to find is for these problems specifically, you probably don't even have to draw it out, you probably just plug it right in. But once you get in the habit, because we're going to have to draw them to the other side. If you're getting a negative answer on number 2, then your calculator's not in the right mode. Let me come around and fix your calculator for you. If you're getting a negative answer, it's in the wrong mode. Anybody else? We're good? All right, let's take a look. It is as easy as it looks, right? Hopefully you got those answers. So again, it's just, I don't even need the picture, right? Half times the side times the side times sine of the angle between it. Done. Okay? don't have to do any other work. Easy enough? Next page, or down at the bottom, excuse me. Okay, now, what I'm trying to do here is, all I want to do is get rid of some things so that you can see what I have here. So in other words, this is just the proof. What I want to do is for each one of these things, here, here, and here, I want to divide everything by half times ABC. So literally, below this, put half ABC. Below this, put half ABC. Below this, put half ABC. This is not something I'm going to ask you to do, but I'm showing you why I get what I get here. If I divide everything by the same thing, they still equal to each other. What happens on this first one? What cancels here? What cancels in this one? B and C and the half, right? So I'm left with sine A over A. That's how I got that. Right here you can see half A and C cancel and I get sine of big B over little b. Right here the half, the A and the B cancel and you can see I get sine of big C over little c. And that's how I get to what's called the law of sines. You guys remember how to solve proportions? Solve proportions. In other words, maybe you don't remember what proportions are. Let's try that. How about x over 3 equals 2 over 6? How would I solve that? Do you remember? I heard someone say cross multiply and divide, right? CMD. Okay, cross multiply and divide. All right, so that's how we're going to solve these problems. We'll get to that. Let's just write down at the bottom here. We can use these proportions. Let's underline that word. Proportions are equal fractions. Proportions are just equal fractions. To find the missing values of any triangle, we know either two angles and one side. Doesn't have to be the side between them. Or, put that up a little bit more. Or two sides and the angle. That's an angle sign, by the way. I try to use shorthand as much as possible. Opposite one of them. Again, not something you need to memorize, because on this quiz, I'm going to say, use law of sines to solve these problems. Or what we're doing tomorrow, I'll say, use law of cosines to solve these problems. I'll tell you what to use, and I'm going to give you the formula on the board. You just have to know how to use it. So let's know how to use it. Let's go to the next page. So again, the goal here is to set up a proportion. Okay? Let's draw a triangle for our first problem. Draw out yourself a triangle, and when you're doing it, you can label it however you want to label it, but for the purposes of what we're doing now, please, please, please make sure you're labeling ABC exactly where I am, so that we're all getting the same kind of thing here. Okay? And I'm just going to go through and continue labeling this. It says angle C is 39, so here's 39 degrees right there. It says angle B is 32, so I can put 32 right in there. And it says AB is 40, so the length between A and B is 40 meters. And it wants us to find CB. So this length right here is my X. And I'll give you a second, make sure you got that all down. And again, the goal here is we're going to set up a proportion. A proportion is equal fractions. So let's put a fraction bar equals a fraction bar. We're going to start filling in stuff. Now what we said on the previous page was sine of the angle over its side opposite is equal to sine of an angle over its side opposite. That's what we're plugging in here. Okay? So look at what we got. We've got big C and little c. We got big B, we don't have little b. We got big A, we need little a. So one thing I know for sure I have is these two sides that are across from each other, the angle across from the side. And I got to, that's what the formula asks for, is sine of the angle over its side opposite. So let's just start there. Sine of 39 over 40. I have to use that one because I know both of them. I don't want to have to solve more than one thing. Okay? Now what? What are we trying to solve for? We're trying to solve for x, right? So what I need here is sine of big A over x. Now I'm not going to put the top yet, but I'm going to put x there. What is A? Anybody tell me how I can find angle A? What's that?
32 plus 39 minus 180.
Oh. There's 180 degrees in a triangle, right? Do you guys all remember that? 180 degrees in a triangle? Okay, so if I add the two angles given, and take 180 minus that, I'll get my answer. Did you already do it, Joanna?
Oh, no, I didn't.
109, thank you, okay. Nope, I got it right here. It is 109, okay. So, I can write sine of 109 over x. Now again, how do I solve proportions? Somebody said it earlier. Cross multiply and divide. So let's do it. Look what I got here. I got 40 sine of that. So 40 sine 109 equals x sine 39. Please be careful not to write it as sine of 39x or of sine of 109 times 40 because your calculator will multiply 109 times 40. We don't want that, okay? Now let's cross multiply and divide. What am I going to divide here? To both sides. What am I trying to get rid of? Okay, let me ask a better question. What am I solving for? X. So what do I have to get rid of? The thing next to x. Sine 39. And that's x times sine 39, right? So that's the one, sine 39, that I need to get out of there. I got to cancel that out. Whatever I do to one side, I got to do it to the other side too, right? So take your calculator a second. I'm going to tell you the answer, but I want you to make sure you get it right by plugging it in. So go to your calculator and divide, go 40 sine of 109 divided by sine 39. And you should get 60.1. And I'm going to tell you it's for meters. Because we're not doing area here, we're trying to find the side length. If you didn't get 60.1, stop me as I'm walking around so I can see what you're doing wrong.
I deleted it, but I got
Can I show people this because I've got it?
Yeah.
Watch, if you didn't get it, I know what you did. Look up here. Okay? Right here. This is probably what all of you got. If you got it wrong, I bet this is what you did. You got to close that parentheses around 109. Because otherwise it's going to divide 109 by the whole thing. I need to close that parentheses around the 109 and then divide it by the whole thing after that. Okay? In fact, I'm just going to show you how you can do that. If you go back to it, you can go right after that and press second INS for insert, and you can put a parentheses there, and then press equals, and now I got it. Okay? Try that once. Make sure you got that. Any questions? We found the length of the side. That's it. We're done with the problem. Okay? Let's go on to the next one, which is number 5. Okay? So sometimes, by the way, sometimes the problem will be easy to where we didn't even have to find 109. If x was here, I would have just said sine of 39 over 40, sine of 32 over x, and I would have just cross multiplied and divided. But in this problem, I actually had to find the other length to be able to solve for it. Okay? So remember, 180 degrees in a triangle. Let's go on to number 5. Let's draw our triangle again. D, E, F. Again, you can label it however you want, but this is going to make sense for what we're doing. I'm going to label some sides here. Little f is 7. So where do I put 7? Across from big F, that's right? Little f is across from big F. Little d is across from big D. Angle D is 110 degrees. Find angle E. So I want to find big E. Get it. Okay. Nobody gets it? Can y'all listen around? Big E? No? Okay. What do I want to do here? I want to set up what? A proportion, right? So I'm going to set up my proportion. I know I got to have sine of some angle. I got to have sine of some angle. Every single problem can start just like that. What do I know? What can I set up right now? Right, I got big D over little d, right? So let's go sine of big D, 110, over little d. Boom. We need a side and angle across from each other to make it work. Okay? Now on the other side, I gotta find E. Right? I gotta find big E. But I don't have anything across from it. Anybody have a clue? What do you think? What do you think, Kamal? For that one? Yes, but because I don't have either of the measurements, I don't want to find two things. But what could I find? Torrance?
Find big F and then
then use what you said earlier, right? If I find this angle, I can add those up and take it away from 180 to get the angle I actually want, right? And I know that 7 is little f, so let's go sine of big F over 7. And this is the two type of problems you're going to see. You're going to see one problem where you're trying to find a side length, so x is on bottom. You're going to try one problem where you have to find an angle. Do you remember how we find an angle? We'll get to that. Let's see if you can remember. What do I do next? Solve the proportion. What do I got to do next? Cross multiply. So I get 7 sine 110 equals 9 sine f. Cross multiply and divide. So I'm trying to solve for sine of f. Let's just get the 9 out of there. So what I've got here, I'm going to kind of rewrite this, is sine of f equals 7 sine 110 over 9. Do you remember back to first semester? If I'm trying to find an angle with this trigonometry stuff, what do I got to use? Say it.
Is when you change it to like
The -1 thing. Remember the arc sign? The arc cosine, that stuff? That -1 thing? That's the opposite of it. So for here, to find the angle, what I'm going to do here is go sine -1 of this, which cancels the signs out, and I'll get f. I'm going to do the same thing over here, sine -1 of this entire thing. Now I'm going to tell you how to make this really easy. Ready? Let's do this all together. Just do this in your calculator right now. Go 7 times sine 110 divided by 9 and get that answer, and just stop right there. 7 times sine of 110. Make sure you close your parentheses on 110, and then divide that by 9. And you should get like 0.73 something, right? Everybody there? 0.73 something? Good. Now, here's how you can do it. How do I get arcsine? Everybody remember how to do arcsine? Go second sine. And it should show up. So go second sine. And it should show up as sine -1. Everybody got that? Anybody remember how to get the last value in? Some of you had me, I told you how to do this. Go second, enter. Right now, go second, enter. And what will show up is the answer you just had. Now press equals. No, hold on a second. We had to have arc sign there first, right? So go arc, go second sign, and then second enter.
How did the same?
Hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second. Oh, Joe. Sorry. No, I think I know what I did. Yeah, about that. See, right next to the enter button is that little minus sign. And you see right above the minus sign it says A and S. That stands for your last answer. So my bad. Let's try this again. Go 7 sine of 110 divided by 9. Get that answer again. That 0.73 thing. But I don't want you to round it to 0.73. I want you to actually use the value. And then go second sign, second answer. So that little so second little negative button. See what you know? Second sign, second of that button. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So second.
Look, it's perfect. Mine just went to like quick.
Hey, she's right there. Glad you came. Glad you came. All right. Just playing catch up now. I'll get you caught up. Okay. All right. What do you think? What do we get? What do we get?
46.1.
46.9? Now here's the thing. Didn't get it? No, it's okay. I know why. Equals. Yep. Now go second sine. Second answer. Equals. Let me make sure we get to 46.9. If you did not get 46.9, make sure I talk to you. what you're doing by going second times second answer is you're actually just plugging in the answer you just got. That's why we're doing it that way. Okay? Now again, what's the question asking? It's asking for angle E. So the measure of angle E is, well, 180 minus 110 minus, we'll just call it 47 to make it nice and easy. And I'm going to tell you that equals 23 degrees. And that is the solution. Okay. So again, I found angle F, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for angle E. So if I add those up and go 180 minus that, that's how I get the answer I got. Okay? Alright, I'm not going to overwhelm you here, but I'm going to have you try two problems that are like the two we just got done with. Okay? I want you to try 6 and 7. And that's it, just 6 and 7. Okay? If we need more, we'll go do more, but I don't think so. Set it up. I'm going to draw mine out and label mine so you can see mine. You don't have to do it my way, you can label it according to how you want. You go try 6 and 7. And stop me as I walk around if you'd like to see how to do it.
Will you give me a calculator eventually though?
What's that?
Can I have a calculator like once I get to that one?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to write down the answers here as well. If you get the work done and you get the 2 answers, you know what you're doing. You can move on to the homework, which is the next 2 pages. Okay? Don't move on until you figure out if you got it right or not. How's that? How's that? Open that up and tell me the answer to number 6.
Number 6. Alright, so 31 centimeters. Or
31 centimeters?
yeah.
Okay. And then number 7 as well?
68.4 degrees.
Thank you. There's the 2 answers so you can check your work. Again, if you get them right, you know what you're doing. Go on to the homework, which is the next 2 pages. We're not going to do anything more. If you get it wrong, let me check your work to see if you're getting it wrong. And if you don't know what you're doing, stop me as I'm walking around. That concludes the tape for today. Or should I just wait? Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll do the last one.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Oh. Wait, what?
Wait, no, it's not. Just a second, right there. I read that. Just want to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah, because wait, no. No L equals? Oh, little L? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, little.
An example, so it's 2 questions or 2 points.
Oh,
How do you know which one to
Take an extra 2 more minutes and then you'll be able to know if you got it.
I don't know. Wait. We have it the same, just.
After you get that answer, okay, I'm gonna start throwing the work up here. Go ahead and keep working your way through it. Don't cheat yourself. Make sure you know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, see them. Did you not do that? You did. Okay, now you did. Oh, equal to this.
All right, again, I got the work up there too. You can check your work with mine. Homework is the next 2 pages.